and overnight, Ukraine become a real air power in the region. Denmark will hand over 19 F-16S to Ukraine after training, said the Prime Minister of Denmark at a briefing. Ukraine will receive up to 42 fighter jets from the Netherlands. Altogether, these are 61 aircraft, or 5 squadrons. And if the F-16S are armed with the right missiles, this will change the balance of air power between Ukraine and Russia, that's for sure. Ukrainian defense forces obliterated 10 boats employed by Russian diversionary reconnaissance groups within a 24-hour period on August 18th in south of Ukraine. These boats, carrying a total of 40 Russian servicemen and military equipment, were attempting to infiltrate strategically significant areas. The information was confirmed by Natalia Humeniuk, the head of the Unified Coordination Press Center of the Operational Command South. Humeniuk stated, "Our counter-battery combat is quite robust. In the past day alone, we managed to destroy 10 enemy boats. These are attempts, by the aggressors, to maneuver between islands. Most of these boats are converted for diversionary reconnaissance groups' use." Russian sources write that the armed forces of Ukraine liberated the settlement of Robotyne in Zaporozhye direction. Also, some Russian sources write that the Ukrainian military controls the central part of Robotyne. There is no official information yet, and Russia is running out of cannon fodder in Ukraine. So Putin began to look for volunteers in Kazakhstan for the war with Ukraine. Internet users in Kazakhstan have begun to encounter ads offering them to join the Russian army and receive an immediate reward of $5,300 for this. I don't know. Seems not much for a price of a life. And even that will not be paid according to the complaining Mobiks. Russian military analyst Dmitry Kornev says that the Russian forces are not capable of counter-battery fights due to inferior artillery systems, and China cannot help. The Russian army cannot conduct an effective counter-battery fight due to the shortage of modern artillery systems in the troops. This was stated by military expert Dmitry Kornev. If they shoot at you from a distance of 40 kilometers and you have guns that shoot at 20 kilometers, then you can fight counter-battery as much as you want. It will not give any results. Unfortunately, Western artillery systems have a range of conventional projectiles that exceeds the range of our traditional systems that were created in the 80s and earlier. We need to fight this problem with supplies and the development of new artillery systems. Actually, this has been done for the last 15, 20 years, but the number of new barrels is small. Big bets were placed on the Malva, Russian prototype 2S-43 Malva 152, MM-8X8 self-propelled howitzer recently contracted for production. But it went to the troops only in the form of an experienced party. Now bets are placed on the Malva system, for which a contract for supplies to the armed forces has been concluded. But this is the future, and they are needed yesterday, Kornev said. He noted that at the same time, it is not worth hoping for China and other allies. They are unlikely to supply such serious weapons. If China is ready to risk a huge share of its exports, then of course they can do it by any tricks. But if they didn't do it, then there are some unsolvable problems, said Kornev. 2S-7P on 203 mm SPH in Ukrainian service.
Танчик въебал пидорів, блядь!
Ukrainian FPV kamikaze drone hitting a Russian tank equipped with an anti-drone net somewhere in the war zone. Ukrainian forces from the 30th Mechanized Brigade conducted a number of recent FPV loitering munition strikes targeting Russian equipment, hitting 2 XD-20 towed howitzers, 1 XD-30 towed howitzer, a Strela 10 SAM system, and a Kamaz 5350. Inside the town of Robotyne, a group of Ukrainian soldiers from the 47th Mechanized Brigade fight next to their disabled M2A2 Bradley IFV. Footage is from Wednesday morning. Outside of Novopokrovka, Zaporizhia Oblast, a Ukrainian Leopard engages Russian positions across a field. Turkey is realizing its goals of building a Turkic world, and Russia is helping it a little in this, including supporting Turkey's possible membership in the UN Security Council, Ivan Starodubtsev says.
Турция, я вообще правильно понимаю, что турки, не особые фанаты России. То есть, когда мы говорим не о народе Турции, а о политической элите. То есть, они тоже эту историю.
И я начну с простых турок. Простые турки – большие фанаты Владимира Владимировича Путина. И это такой парадокс, который я наблюдаю на протяжении последних 2 десятков лет. Вот. Что касается политической элиты турецкой, то тут же не фанатский клуб они собрали клуб для того, чтобы реализовывать свои конкретные цели и задачи по построению тюркского мира. Соответственно, и расчеты ими делаются предельно прагматичные, очищенные от каких бы то ни было эмоций. И понятное дело, что нынешний конфликт на Украине – это шанс для Турции занять совершенно другое место в мироустройстве. И для этого используются все возможные рычаги. Да, вы заметите, что Россия поддерживает Турцию, кстати, и в этом начинании. Когда Российская Федерация говорит, да, мы воспринимаем тезис Турции «мир больше 5», это значит, что мы поддерживаем Турцию как будущего члена Совета Безопасности Организации Объединенных Наций. Постоянный член.
Понять, что что-то надо отдавать и России.
Spanish military instructors say goodbye to Ukrainian soldiers who are returning home from their military training.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos,